everyone, welcome to Mansour Academy Conversation Package Lesson 3. Now, as you recall, last class we looked at appearances, and in this class we are going to talk about city life. Now, the first thing you need to understand when we are talking about city life is the fact that when we are discussing the places in the city, when you want to go into the city and find your way around, the first question you would ask is, where can I get a cab around here? That means, where can I get a taxi, right? Where can I find a taxi, right? Now, the first thing you need to understand is that cities have different zones, have different parts, right? The first thing you need to know is about what is a city, right? The first thing you need to learn is what is a city. Now, first of all, we have a village. Village is a very small, very small place. Maybe 1,000 to 10,000. Its population. That's it, right? Then we have something bigger, which is a town. So first it's a village. Remember, village, no. Village, 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 village. Very good. And then the bigger village is town. It's a town. Now, again, town is still significantly smaller than a city, right? So town is what? 10,000 to 100,000 people, right? That's what you call a town, right? City is much bigger. City has a population of roughly, I would say, 100,000 to 1,000,000 people. But don't forget, still, it's 1,000,000, right? It's still less than 1,000,000. That's what you call a city. Now, if you have a city that has a population of over 1,000,000 people, we call it metropolis. 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 Or a metropolitan city. Sometimes it is called a metropolitan city, which is a city of a population of over 1,000,000 people. So now you can repeat. A town, a city, a metropolis, a village, a town, a city, a metropolis, and a megalopolis. Now, a megalopolis is a city of over 10 million people. Wow, that's crazy. That's like New York. That's like Tokyo, right? These cities are huge cities, really big, really big. And so when we're talking about cities, remember, town is a small city. Village is much smaller than a town. And a city of over 1,000,000 people is a metropolis. Now, what gets more even interesting is the fact that every city has 5 zones, right? So when we're talking about cities, we're dealing with 5 different zones. You see, every city has a downtown, a business district, a residential area, a suburban area or outskirts, and then the countryside. So every city, imagine, expands in a circular manner, right? So when you go to European cities or North American cities, you can see this quite easily. Maybe in other countries less, but in North America, it's easily detectable. You have a downtown area, and downtown area is where all the clubs are, coffee shops and cinemas, right? So the downtown area is where all the clubs, coffee shops, and cinemas are located. The sentence is passive. Be careful. Business district, so around the downtown is the business district. Business district is where all the malls, banks, and office blocks are located. So that's where the business district is. You have banks, you have shopping malls, you have boutiques, right? Chic shops, small shops, right? All those shops are located in the business district. But remember, when you're talking about like housing, hospitals, even high schools, elementary schools, they are located not in the downtown area, not in the business district. It's too noisy for that. It is much better to have those places around the business district, which we call residential area. Residential area. Residential area. Residential area is where all the houses, hospitals, and schools are located. You understand? So basically, every city has poor residential areas, has rich residential areas. Some cities, they're neighborhoods for like really, really rich people, or the residential areas where all the wealthy people live there, like Malibu in Los Angeles or Beverly Hills. They are like really good residential areas, right? In New York, I would say Westchester is a very good residential area, or the Queens, right? Other neighborhoods are good as well, whether it's Brooklyn, Lexington, Bronx. It depends on your opinion, but I think Westchester or Queens is a nice residential area in New York City. Other places are the same, London, Wimbledon, and every city have their own. Kuala Lumpur, Mount Kiara is a very nice residential area. Now, around the residential area, we have the suburban areas or the outskirts, right? That's where all the soccer stadiums are, all the stables, you know, all those mansions, those huge houses, right? With their, you know, golf courses and, you know, all those places where you can go for the weekend, all those private clubs, not clubs for dancing. These are places where you can go play golf, right? We call that suburban areas. So the suburban areas are where all the soccer stadiums and stables are located. Now, that's the city. Downtown, business district, residential area, outskirts or suburban areas. Around that is the countryside. When you say countryside, it doesn't mean country. So United States is a country, right? But then again, around New York City, you have countryside. That's a different story. When you're saying I'm driving to the country, it doesn't mean I'm driving to another country. It means I'm driving out of town. Keep that in mind. So the countryside is where all those huge farms, fields, and factories are located. Remember, farms like chicken farms, fields like rice fields, tea fields like plantation fields, cotton plantation fields, and then factories like car factories. That's where the cars are made, right? So that's the countryside. So if somebody asks you, where do you live? You don't say, I live in Dubai. That's too general, right? I live in Madrid. I live in New York. No, I live in the downtown area of Toronto. Where? Near the bay. My friends who live in Toronto, they know where the bay side is. It's a beautiful place where you can go at the weekend. So where does your sister live? Where does your mother live? Where does your brother live, right? So where does she live? She lives in Queens, the best residential area in New York. Where does your sister live? Oh, my sister lives in Queens, the best residential area in New York. You can change that, right? You can say, where does your brother live, right? He lives, right, in Mount Kiara, the best residential area in Kuala Lumpur. Done, right? So whatever you are thinking, you can easily substitute with the structures that I'm giving you, right? So where does he live? Where does your teacher live? My teacher, Mr. Manzoor, lives in Mount Kiara, in the heart. In the heart. Heart, no. Heart, no. It's heart. In the heart of KL. Mr. Manzoor lives in Mount Kiara, in the heart of KL. Where does your teacher live? Mr. Manzoor lives in Mount Kiara, in the heart of KL. So let's go down to the city and see if we can find different places. Because when you're looking for different places in the city, let's say you're looking for a place to buy bread, you're looking for a place to buy flowers, you're looking for a place to buy meat. Where can you do that? Well, I want everybody to repeat with me. While you're watching this part of the movie, it is very important that you repeat with me. Mr. Manzoor, never forget. Repeat. Mr. Manzoor, never forget. Mr. Manzoor, never forget. Bakery. Bakery is the place where you can buy different kinds of bread. Repeat. Bakery. Bakery. Very good. Bakery is the place. Bakery is the place. Bakery is the place where you can buy. Bakery is the place where you can buy different kinds of bread. Different kinds of bread. The key point here is that you know where to pause and where to speak quickly. This sentence has 9, 10, 12 words, but it really has 3 words or 3 chunks. In order to improve your speaking, you need to pronounce each chunk separately. So this is one chunk. You can see this is another chunk. So that's 2 chunk. And this is 3 chunk. So 3 chunks. If you ask me, where is the bakery? I respond by saying, bakery is the place where you can buy different kinds of bread. Now that's natural. But if I say, bakery is the place where you can buy different kind of bread, that is not natural. If I say, bakery is the place, this is not natural, right? So if I want to make it natural, I have to know where to stop, right? So let's repeat one more time. Bakery is the place where you can buy different kinds of bread. Bakery is the place where you can buy different kinds of bread. Nice. Butcher is the place where you can buy different kinds of meat. Remember, butchers is the place where you can buy different kinds of meat. Chemists is the place where you can buy different kinds of drugs. Remember, legal drugs, like, for example, medicine, okay? So don't think differently. Don't think something different. We're talking about medicine. So if I ask you, where is the chemists? You would say, oh, the chemists is the place where you can buy different kinds of medicine or drugs. Remember, chemists is British. The Americans say drugstore. And of course, the French say pharmacy. And Canadians say pharmacy. So if you hear pharmacy, that's French.